Okay, so Joy wants a raised flower bed slash vegetable garden. So we want to try and get some root crops in there because we are going to do the hydroponics. So we're going to do the leafy greens and all those in that. But she wants to have potatoes, and we want to also have, carrots. We want to, go along that crops as well, things that grow better in the dirt. So we actually have this little piece of land here. It's about 30 feet long and about 4 or 5 feet deep. So we're going to try and make some raised beds along here, and let's see how we do. Okay, so we're going to do 3 times 8 feet, so that's 24 feet. We're going to use 2 by 12 by 8 foot. That way we don't have to cut anything except for the end pieces. We'll just cut in half. So if we make it 4 feet by 24 feet, that'll give us enough to have 33 bags of mulch and also organic above ground, bedding soil. So we're gonna do that right now, and let's try that. Okay, so this is 24 feet by 3 feet. That gave us the minimum amount of wastage, and we were able to use only 2 4x4s, exactly the right amount of 2 by 12s. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 2 by 12s plus 2 more. So 14 2 by 12s. And we ended up using a box of screws, and the mosquitoes are out, so sorry for the bandana, but now we're gonna fill. Okay, as you can see, I saved a whole bunch of pine shavings and manure from the chickens in the pen, so it's all along, and as you can see, it's gonna give us a good base to start off with some good nutrients. As you can see, it's pretty dark. I still need about this much more dirt, and gotta get that from Home Depot in the morning. Anyway, it is bug city out here. It's getting cold, so I'm done. Check in a minute. Okay, well, we've got the bed all full of soil. So now it's time to work on irrigation. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use 1/2-inch rainbird. I think we got it at 100 feet of it, plus 50 feet. From Home Depot. We're gonna run a timer, I'll show you that, and then we'll run it through some elbows, some T-junctions. Basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna make 3 lines, so 3 24-foot lines, and then we're going to put elbows and T's on the end, and it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, so that all the way along we'll be able to plant, and then wherever we plant, then we're gonna put our drippers. If you come in here and take a look, we've got the elbows for the corners, and then we have a T for the center post. Now, the reason that I'm holding it out here is I do not, nobody wants dirt in the end of these. Now, we are gonna flush the system before we go, but if you get dirt or junk or any of these in here, it's basically gonna plug up one of the drippers, and that's a pain in the butt. So, try and keep it as clean as possible. I know some people put baggies on it, some people get elaborate. Anyway, this is what I do. I just keep both ends hanging off of the box and go on to the next step. All right, so now my OCD is kicking in. We've got the 3 24-foot lines, or we've got 3 lines, and for some reason I have this thing in my mind that says this round wobbly tubing is gonna drive me nuts because I've got 3 straight lines of irrigation that I want, and I do want to have, Joy end up having a nice possibility of having a nice straight garden. So there's all these little clips that you can buy, and there's also stakes that you can buy for this irrigation tubing. The problem is that when you've got a raised bed and all this fluffy mulch, a peg is not going to hold these things where they need to go unless it's like this long and it's coiled. So this is my bed, and I made it, so I'm gonna sleep in it. And what I like to do is zip tie them. So as you can see, what I'll do is I come along and then I pop a couple holes, and then right where the T-junction is, right where the elbows are, I zip tie them in. That will give me the ability to pull tension on them at the other end, keeping everything nice and straight, and then attach them, zip tie the other end, and then I've got 3 rows done. So we didn't film my massive breakdown, but basically I've got two spigots on the house. One of them, I guess the people who did it before us, did the house, they decided to put PVC piping instead of metal piping coming out of the house, which had different threading and is super brittle and came about this close to snapping and just pouring out all the water all over the yard. So what happened was I connected an orbit model instead of, this is a Rainbird, we had to go to the store and change it out. Connected the orbit model, and number one, they don't have a built-in backflow valve. This here stops the water. Okay, so water goes through the system, goes around your irrigation, and comes and potentially could come back up into your house, and that dirty, nasty irrigation water can potentially go back up into your house water. So if you don't have a backflow valve, make sure to buy one or get a unit that has one on it. Anyway, we ended up exchanging it out. The problem also that happened that I found was this tiny little 97-cent piece here. There is pipe fitting, which I'm sure a million of you know, but there's a whole bunch more people that don't know, because I didn't know either. So this is hose compatible. So when you tighten this onto your spigot, okay, this is made, and 6 other brands that I checked at Home Depot all have hose fittings on here. Now I don't know if that's so that we have to buy these, but you have to buy a hose thread fitting adapter that goes to a pipe fitting adapter. So remember to do that. So you need a backflow valve and you need a fitting adapter if you haven't already found one that goes directly to your irrigation system. So you'll find these threadings, the pipe fittings, are different than hose fittings. Okay, so I'm done with that. My blood pressure's down. Basically, all you have to do is connect it onto your spigot. You set your time. You don't need me to tell you how to do that. It's super simple. Just push the buttons, and they're all automated now. And then connect it, and then let's go flush the system. Okay, so the moment of truth has come. We've got straight lines, we've got everything zip tied, we've got everything connected, my blood pressure's down, the spigot is all connected, and now we are going to flush the system to make sure there's no dirt in this system, and hopefully nothing explodes and my blood pressure stays down and this works out, and then we can cap it. So, Jackson, let it rip, let it rip. Okay. So let's see, right here. Come in closer so you can see right there, let's see. So it should be coming at some point. Oh, I can hear it. Air is gonna flush out of the system. And then you're gonna get ready to go back and press the cancel button. Okay, so go back there and press the cancel button in 5 seconds. Okay, well, as you can see, we have plenty of water coming out. The system's working good. We're just making sure that nothing flushes through here, and we got some serious water pressure. So go ahead, Jackson, cut it off. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and plug up the system, and that's how you do irrigation. We're gonna get some plants going and then pop some holes, feed the plants some water. All right, well, we have finished. So we have a raised bed, which is 2 feet. It is 24 feet long. It is 3 feet deep. And we have OCD straight irrigation lines, even on a timer. So I think we're done. We've learned a bit, and I think we're good. Let's put the chicken farm sign in. Wow, check out the garden. Once you got your plant in, and this irrigation system, now it's time to get the water to the plant. So you need to be able to pop a hole in your irrigation line, and then you choose your dripper of your choice. Some of them are 5 gallons, some of them are 1 gallon, some of them are 0.5 gallons. This one right here is a 1 gallon every hour, and then what we'll do is we'll get this in, and then I'll tell you after that what to do. So let's go ahead and you find you want to be close to the root, okay? And you get your hose aligned in there, and then you want to hear a pop. So when you squeeze it, you get that pop, which means it goes right in and creates your hole. Now keep your hand up out of the dirt because you don't want to get dirt in there. And you've got two ends. You got the dripper hole, and then you also have what comes out. So this is the sharp end. The sharp end goes into the hole, and you want to hear a snap. You heard that snap. So you have to hear that snap. That means that it's securely popped in and formed a seal. So now it's going to go ahead and drip, squirt into this area here. And then I'll tell you what's next. So after you have your plants planted, and then you want to find out how much water or how long to actually water your plants for, you need to know what kind of plant you have. You need to know how much water they need. So if you've got something like an herb, you know, sage or rosemary or one of these things that doesn't need as much water, then what you need to do is you need to calculate how much water that would need, because something like a flower or cucumbers or things that need a lot more water, what you'll do is you will take a timer, and it's as simple as this. Depending on your flow rate, so say I put in 1 gallon per hour drippers on the whole system, I will go and then I will turn it on, and then I will time how long it takes for that area to get wet. Now wet meaning saturated a few inches down. I want to get right down into the roots. That's what I mean by getting it wet. So how long and how many minutes does that take? So let's say, for example, it takes 5 minutes. Then I'm going to go ahead and set my timer 3 times a day or 2 times a day or 1 time a day for 5 minutes. That's how you set and figure out how much water. I like to personally overwater everything until I figure out that this whole thing is saturated, everything is really, really wet and good, and then after a few days, I can start working my way back. That's just my personal choice, because I'd rather overwater something that doesn't need much water than underwater the things that absolutely need that water. Okay, and that's it.
Hope you enjoyed. Make sure you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our new videos. Bye-bye.